That there first big homie I had, man, he was a motherfucker, man. That's for sure, man. I mean, the way your life works out, man, in the game depends on your first instruction. And my first instruction was fucking peach, nigga. This motherfucker had me on deck. I'll tell you this much here. One thing he taught me is always keep whips in the cut. And like right now, I own 5 cars and 2 motorcycles placed about my fucking section. And that's because way back in the days, man, that big homie taught me always keep whips in the cut and be able to switch them up because they be tracking a nigga, man. And I watched how they did him. And I remember, even though I was a little dude, man, when I come to my own as Green Machine, man, that's just how I do based on that nigga. But check this out right here. The heartbreak of it was, you heard me watch this shit, man, nigga. The heartbreak, man. And I idolize this nigga because after I first crossed, I was 15 years old when I got put on deck. So you're a youngster, And he was the one nigga that took a shine to me. Older, dark-skinned nigga, man, yokes, nigga. And this nigga had mad squabbles. Wasn't nobody in the section that would holler at this nigga squabbles. And he did shit on deck, and he came from a big family. So, this nigga, he's from one of them families what got reputables all up and down that shit. So, he was my idol, man. I ain't gonna say his name, man, but he's my idol in this Crip game. He taught me how to stay straight. This nigga always, you know what? Even back then, nigga, this is back in the 80s. Even back then, this nigga taught me don't ride with nobody. Stay by yourself. Stay by yourself, nigga. All these niggas, man, we crippin', man. But, nigga, once you hit your lick, nigga, it's peace out, nigga. You gotta be a loner, nigga. And that's how I is right now. I learned that from him. But here's the trick. What broke my heart, man, is when I got older. Of course, man, I run up out of crippin' because I got the college football situation, man. I was a beast on that football situation. I ran a 4.46 40-yard dash, which at the time was world-class speed. I got a tryout with a few pro teams, and I played NCAA Division I football. So that got me up out the gear, and he was proud of that. But the thing about it, once I fell back up into the hood, I come to find out some shit like this here. I come back into the hood, this OG, my mentor, this nigga owns restaurants. He still owns those restaurants, by the way. But he owned restaurants, So I come up out of, my NFL situation, tryouts or whatever. It's like, damn, man, whatever. And my old fucking mentor, my double OG, is cruising around smooth, using the fucking lessons that he taught me still in place. But watch this here. I'm all proud and shit. I'm like, yeah, nigga still real, man. That nigga, I told you that nigga's sweet. I'm the only youngster he would even fuck with till this day. He fucks with old niggas. I'm the youngest nigga he fucks with. But what had happened was he had this bitch. He fell out with this bitch right here. And what this bitch did, this is what I'm saying. Mentors can always make mistakes. And if you listen to me, I'm not going to make them. But I'm going to tell you how even the best, this guy was the fucking best, this guy. Forget about it. Forget that shit, nigga. This motherfucker was on his P's and Q's. He always had the game tight. But what he told me is always be a loner. Because you can trust yourself, but once you add another person to that mix, man, the trust is out the window. But watch this here. So I comes back from college football. NFL situation didn't work out. Pro situation didn't work out. So I'm trying to figure out a hustle. I come back looking for this nigga. I comes back, this nigga's in the clink. I'm like, so woo. Say what? What had happened was he got in an argument with his old lady. And this bitch did some shit like this here. And this is way back in the days, nigga. This is like in the early 90s and some shit like that. This bitch gets in a fight with this nigga right here and calls Johnny and tells the popo exactly where his silencers was in the trunk for that fucking gun. Sure enough, whoop-de-whoop, swoop up, rolled up, pulled up on the situation, and this nigga, they were looking at homeboy for having a big homie, for having like 3 silencers in his car, what nobody would have known about but for that bitch calling the cops. Specifically called the cops and told this is his own woman, sleeps in the bed with this bitch. Mm-hmm. And she told him where all that shit was. This nigga caught a federal beef behind this bitch. I don't remember how much time he did. It wasn't a dime, but he did a couple years behind that shit. All because of argument with a bitch. And that's to show you your mentors can teach you shit without teaching you shit. I remember one time I was in Venice going to pick up a Roscoe. You know, these motherfuckers had a brand new, you know, I think it was a Glock 9 in the box, nothing on it, no nothing. And I'm going with this white bitch, Heather. So me and Heather run over there. We did the deal, this and that. And on the way out, I'm thinking, nigga, you a Crip, man. This is your girl, but remember what happened to your mentor. I killed that whole deal because she was there and knew. This is a white girl, too. You know, goddamn well, she would, if anything happened, and check this out, how it all ended up, man. Wonder how we split up. I split up with Heather. We're right there on Ocean Park. We're over at the beach in Venice. We comes back. We were at Gelson's. I think it's Gelson's supermarket right there on Ocean Park in Lincoln. Shit, I don't know where that is. I think that might be Santa Monica. This bitch right here, man, we're driving and I'm thinking all the way down Lincoln, damn, this bitch was in the car through the whole transaction, man. If I go pick up this gun, she'll know I have it. And look what happened to my boy. Watch this shit. So I'm thinking all the way, and she kept talking. I said, hey, man, could a nigga think, man? Let me think, man. Just slow that shit down for a minute, man. I'm trying to think. This bitch got on a hot one to the point where when we pulls up in Gelson's, this bitch is still talking. I'm like, could you just shut the fuck up? And I usually don't curse at women, but I said that because I'm really thinking about this. This bitch went on a hot one, started cursing me out to the point where the security guard in the parking lot asked us to leave. And I'm standing there like, hey, man, would you get in the car with this situation? She's calling me all kinds of motherfuckers. Watch this, and I am not adding extras right here. She's calling me all kind of motherfuckers. And the security guard said, well, I got to report. Watch what she did. She said, this nigga's he's a Crip. He's killed people. And I'm drifting back like, what the fuck did I told this bitch? I don't tell murder stories, so I know she's making that shit up. This motherfucker calls the popos, and then she tells him, fuck you, I'm gonna call the police too. I'm like, oh, damn. A nigga sitting here on a rolling 60 goddamn, what they call, LAPD gang profile associated, you know, RICO Act, everything. Everything that happens to me goes extra. And I'm sitting here with this white security guard and this white bitch up in my truck going about, they're both on the phone with the fucking Santa Monica police at the same time. And Santa Monica police is the last ones, that last time I was in jail, they're the ones that will put me there. So I'm like, oh man, this situation right here is not good at all, nigga. So I'm thinking, man, maybe I should just jump in the truck and bail out. And then the security guard said, the cops want to talk to you. Like, nigga, shit, what do they want to talk to me for, man? She's up out the truck. I told him, well, Come over maybe I'll talk to him over to the truck. I'm edging towards the truck. She's standing there. Soon as that motherfucker got to the corner of my pickup truck, I went around the truck, got in that motherfucker, fired it up, and I'm a General Motors type of dude, nigga, but that Ford F-150 got my ass right the fuck up out of there, and that's the last time I saw Heather, and that was a badass white bitch, too. Fun as fuck. I had the best time of my life with that bitch, but she saw me do that gun deal, and that was on my mind, and I ain't adding extra. I was just thinking. I wasn't saying nothing coming down Lincoln, man. We left, she went off on me, matter of fact, at the fucking Playa del Rey at the yacht club. We was at the yacht club. She started yelling about something different, you know? And I was about to say who she is, but her uncle was a famous mobster that had some stories and, was on the run for quite a long time and got caught. And we were arguing because I was just saying, hey, man, maybe you should leave. Oh, my uncle, this and that. I'm like, bitch, we'll take your ass back over there, man. And all these white folks is looking at us while we're arguing. I'm not arguing. She's yelling and screaming at the yacht club in Marina del Rey to the point where I had never seen this. There's a fucking vein down the middle of her head she's yelling. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, man, I gotta get this bitch up out the car, man. She just saw me fucking make a fucking illegal gun deal. And she's fucking, so I got that white bitch out. She fucking yelled at me to the point where all the white people at Gelson's was looking at us. And then this old white dude at one point, I remember he was going in the store and he looked at me. This white motherfucker looked at me and winked and nodded and winked as he went in. And that was his way, I think, of saying, nigga, you want a white bitch? There you go. There you go. There you go. Nigga, I got in that car and bounced, nigga. But remember this, man. A woman can bring you down. Never let a bitch know about your business, Because a little disagreement can turn into, oh, you're that, get you back type of shit. And after I dumped that bitch at that fucking Gelson's right there on Ocean Park and Lincoln right there in Santa Monica, driving away, I knew that bitch would have had me thrown in prison just to have the power of fucking putting shit on my commissary and having control, man. And I could have made the same mistake my mentor did, man. Nah, man, I learned from him. I made a mistake of having her in that car and she was listening to every deal. I'm thinking, she's just my bitch. She's in the car. Hey, nigga, how much I got to, we about to go get the gun. And she heard everything. And I'm just driving down Lincoln after she fucking blew off at me at the yacht club. So I'm trying to think, and then she wouldn't shut up. And that's when it popped off. So always, man, watch your back, nigga. Don't be telling your bitch all that shit, man. Do your business alone, man. Ride alone, nigga. This is a different time. You ain't got that homie love like what used to be. You heard me? And I'm out in the motherfucker.